Hello from the Go Travel Studio. Today we're going to be learning about the Grand Canyon Railway. Here we go. Welcome to Tuesday Travel Chat. I'm your host, Julia. I also have Bob Cook from Go Travel here in the office today. And our special guest is Robin Koval from Grand Canyon Railway. So who should be listening today? Tell us a little bit more so that we can then take a preview with a little video.
So we are a train that goes up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. I like to call it Rails to the Rim.
Okay.
And we pretty much accommodate everybody. So we have your families, your multi-gens, but we also go into your stargazers or your photographers or hikers. So we can accommodate pretty much everybody on the train. And what better place to have a backdrop for your photographs than the Grand Canyon?
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, we're going to talk all about it. But first, here's a little preview.
Yes.
All right. So, Robin, take us through this experience. I believe, because there's some packages we're going to talk about at the end, and it's kind of a whole kind of trip that you would do. Talk to us. Where do you begin? Where do you go? Where do you return to?
And what do you do in between?
Yes. And what do you do in between?
Exactly.
All right. Well, as I said, we start in Williams, Arizona.
Yes.
And in Williams, on our property, we actually have a hotel that sits there. So we're actually going to start there with our hotel in Williams. Then we're going to board the train and head to the south rim of the canyon.
Wonderful.
And once we get to the canyon, we run the lodges up at the south rim. So we're going to spend some time talking about the lodges at the south rim and what your options are up there. You don't necessarily sleep on the train, you ride the train.
Okay.
But we do have nice properties on either end of the train that we package together so that you can actually have a nice itinerary for yourself as you go.
You don't have to think about it. It's done for you.
Absolutely.
Very good. So now let's move into our starting point.
Oh, absolutely. So to take that rail to the rim, you start in Williams, Arizona. And one of the most asked questions I get is, where is Williams, Arizona? Well, we sit off Interstate 40 in northern Arizona. And as far as airports and how to get there, the closest airport is going to be Flagstaff, Arizona, which is about 35 minutes. And if you choose to go into Flagstaff, so you know, American is the only airline that flies into Flagstaff at this point. Outside of that, Phoenix is the next closest, and that's kind of your scenic airport to get up there. And then Las Vegas is about 3.5 to 4 hours, and that is your Vegas airport. So you get what you get. There's not much coming across to visit us if you're coming from Vegas. And then there's shuttle services available for those that don't want to rent a car from both Phoenix and Flagstaff that we can recommend.
Fantastic.
We sit on historic Route 66. And so I know you asked me, who is this for? Well, it's also for the Disney fanatic. So when you start thinking about that, we are the last town that was bypassed by Interstate 40 on Route 66.
Okay.
We have several places that were used in Radiator Springs on our piece of Route 66. And we also sit a very short distance from Seligman, Arizona, which is Radiator Springs from cars. So you can wrap that whole Disney fanatic around our piece of Route 66, which is kind of cool. So we are a unique piece, just to point that out. We were native and trained before we were Route 66. So it's a very eclectic piece of Route 66 that you're going to find across the Route 66 pathway there. We sit a small block off. So you'll cross the parking lot and cross over to Route 66. But we have a railway and hotel. It sits right there. It kind of harkens back to that early Western days from 1901 when we started. So this is a picture of our property. Route 66 sits on the other side of the railroad tracks. We have a 2-story hotel with 298 rooms. High 3 Diamond is where that sits. Out the back side of the courtyard, everything's walking distance. So the train depot and everything you need is across the courtyard. We offer a buffet style restaurant. And then across the other side of the parking lot is the RV park. Underneath that beautiful little arrow that says RV park is where the Wild West Shootout takes place every morning, which is kind of fun. The hotel, it includes an indoor pool and hot tub. We have a workout facility. Funny enough, I've never seen anybody in our workout facility because you're outside working out more than you're inside working out.
Yep.
We do offer free Wi-Fi, free parking. So if somebody does rent a car, they don't have to worry about leaving the car and having to pay to park the car while they're up at the canyon. We offer several different types of rooms. The majority we offer are standard and deluxe. We do have some suites, and we do have a luxury suite if anybody is interested. However, the standard and deluxe, as you look at these wonderful pictures, they're pretty much the same room. So what's the difference? The difference truly is the deluxe room, which is your bottom picture there, has a microwave. Otherwise, the rooms are exactly the same.
Fancy.
I know, exactly. So honestly, unless you need that microwave, I would say, you're great in a standard room.
Sure.
We have our Fred Harvey restaurant, which I pointed out, and that is our buffet restaurant.
Very historical.
It is historical. The Fred Harvey restaurants were all along the Santa Fe route across the U.S., and we happen to have one where we use some of their original recipes actually on the buffet. We serve breakfast and dinner. Breakfast, probably one of my favorites across the country. You can't go wrong with that breakfast over there. Dinner is normally 1 to 2 carved meats. We have a pasta toss station. They actually offer entertainment in the evening, which is kind of a subtle little music going on in the background. And we offer beer and wine for purchase at dinner, just the same. The RV park, #1 RV park in the state of Arizona for about 4 years running. It is the only paved one in northern Arizona, which is important during the snows and the monsoons. 124 sites, and it accommodates everything. So every kind of hookup, dump site, HD satellite, you name it, we have it. We offer a pet resort because everybody is traveling with their pets these days.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is a great option.
Yeah. And so because we don't allow pets on the train or in the hotel, it's nice that we have the pet resort. And I say it's like having a separate room for your pet. You can go walk them. You can go feed them.
Yes.
They just can't stay in the hotel with you, unfortunately. Cleanest I've ever been into.
Wow.
So now we get to the fun stuff, the train stuff.
This is neat.
So we start with the Wild West Shootout. We have the Cataract Creek Gang who come and they have their little show every day. And I have to tell you, they die every day at the show.
That's exhausting.
Isn't it? And then they come back to life to rob the train later in the afternoon, go to jail, and start all over the next day. But it's a fun way to get you excited about the Old West and getting on the train. And just having a great day on the train on your way to the canyon.
I love that. That's a great start. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Kids love it. I'm
Absolutely.
Sure.
So do the adults.
Kids.
So do the adults. Absolutely.
Adult grandparents too.
They're the first ones out there taking a picture with the horses after the
or
show.
with the dead guy.
Or with the dead guy. Exactly.
I'm the dead guy photo.
So let's look at the train because that's really what people are coming for, is to wrap the train around the canyon. We run both steam and diesel engines.
Wow.
The steam, we call it the French Fry Express because it is the cleanest burning steam engine in the world. Wow. Runs off waste vegetable oil.
Does the steam engine, is there an additional charge for the steam engine versus the diesel?
No.
So can you ask for being booked on
You can be booked on the steam.
Okay.
It runs on what we call special occasions.
Okay. Oh,
and I'll put
special.
quotes around that
Okay.
because I can tell you that we run it on President's Day. We run it on Earth Day.
Okay.
And then starting in March, we run it the first Saturday of the month from March through October. And we have a floating anniversary date in September. So it'll run twice in the month of September. Always going to be on a Saturday.
Yeah.
to give you an idea. Otherwise, we run diesels, but we do run historic locomotives. We run historic train cars. Everything is historic that we put on the tracks. We offer 6 classes of service on the train. And I know one of the questions I get is it air conditioning?
Yes.
Well, you'll notice that first picture, we joke that the air conditioning is 40 miles an hour with 40 windows down. These are our historic 1923 Bud cars that we've put on the tracks.
Okay.
Our lowest class of service, which is a Pullman class. From there, everything has air conditioning.
Is it like Pullman?
No, Pullman. No, Pullman.
But it could be,
George
right?
Pullman. He started the company. Built train cars.
Okay, we got to go to the train guy
Yes.
for this.
Exactly. From there, we have a coach class, which is very similar to Pullman. The difference are the seats slightly. But other than that, air
conditioning.
We do not offer any amenities in Pullman and coach. So if you have somebody wanting the amenities, you're going to go to first class.
Yeah. How long is this train ride?
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes from Williams up to the South Rim.
Okay. I was curious about that.
It's a leisurely ride. Nice. So it doesn't get over usually 40 miles an hour and it tends to average between 30 and 35.
That's nice. You get to have the experience.
Exactly.
You
get
doing.
It also allows you to take good photographs.
Absolutely.
Without a high-speed camera.
Well, not only that, but the driver doesn't have to pay attention to everybody around them on the most dangerous 2-lane road in the state of Arizona. So the train is a nice option for everybody to enjoy their vacation. So we have first class. First class, we start offering amenities in. So we have complimentary non-alcoholic beverages. We offer a continental breakfast in the morning, appetizers in the afternoon. There's usually a bar available in the cars. If not, your passenger service attendant will take care of the adult beverages for you.
Yeah.
We do not accept cash, so I should say that right off the bat.
Like
it
an
is
airplane.
A credit card bar. But
what isn't these days?
What's that?
What isn't these days?
I know, right? Well, we're fortunate we can do it because there's really no signal for your phones between Williams and the Canyon. It's kind of a dead zone.
So you kind of get to retreat, sorry,
nice.
Boss.
Exactly.
I have no internet.
Exactly. And that worked well for us while we were up there the last 2 weeks. Sorry, didn't know you were trying to get a hold of us.
But I never got the notice.
one thing I would recommend, just speaking on that, is I'd always set my phone on airplane mode when you get on there, so you actually have your batteries left to take the pictures if you're not taking the fancy camera up there to take pictures.
This is one of the last places on Earth without a signal, so this is kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of a signal, but just in that dead spot on the train. But
exactly.
It's pretty cool.
And you mentioned that it takes about 2 hours, and then are there 2 trains a day, or
on occasion we do run 2 trains? So normally it's a 9:30 departure. Out of Williams, gets to the Canyon at 11:45. But when we're busy, like during spring break, some of our summer dates, some holidays, we will actually run 2 trains. So there would be a departure at 9:30 and a departure at 10:30. And during November, December, we run a Polar Express, which we'll talk about a little bit further down. But that Polar Express, because we want everybody to enjoy it, when they add tickets on, we actually leave the train an hour earlier just because of the daylight situation. So we do have departures in November, December at 8:30 in the morning versus 9:30.
But it is year-round, too.
It is year-round. We run every day but Christmas Day. We decide that they need a day off on Christmas Day.
Yes.
But
that's cool.
We have first class, which I mentioned. We do a dome class. So our dome class is like the domes that you have up in Alaska, the Vista domes, so the bubble domes. The lower level is first class. Upper level is 24 people in that dome. And then we offer 2 luxury classes. And there's 2 bonuses to that, one of which is no children. So luxury, if you don't want to be in children, we do not allow children in luxury.
Okay.
Children are ages 2 to 15 for us. So a 16-year-old would be an adult. The other nice advantage to being back there, if you look at that last picture, you'll see the conductor there with the door behind him. We actually have a platform that people can go outside and enjoy the fresh air.
Is that open to any of the class or just
luxury?
Just luxury.
So in most cases, we do assign seats. So you can't go backwards on the train. You can go forwards on the train. Luxury, no matter which class you're in, luxury dome, luxury parlor car, you actually have access to the entire train. And we treat it that way. And if you have the need to want to split the classes of service, I definitely recommend it. You can go up in first, come back in luxury. And in luxury, I honestly recommend going up to the canyon in the luxury dome, which is an American Orient Express car, by the way, that we put on the tracks. And then coming back in the luxury parlor car in the afternoon, so you can enjoy the fresh air in the afternoon when it's a little bit warmer outside.
Absolutely.
This is just some of the scenery going up to the canyon. And I pointed out because, it's a very historic, nostalgic, adventurous train. I find it very scenic, but everybody's definition of scenic is different.
True.
So we do start out at 6,700 feet in elevation in Williams, and we're working our way up to 7,500 feet in elevation at the canyon, higher than Denver. Most people don't realize that we sit higher than Denver.
The Grand Canyon, imagine.
I know. But you'll notice in the pictures there where you're seeing the desert with the mountains in the back, you're actually dropping below 5,000 feet on the way to the canyon, which changes what you're looking at. And then you'll notice in the middle, we do get a train robbery every afternoon on the way back to Williams. So be prepared. They like your valuables. They will ask for your valuables.
Take off my ring.
I know, right? So
if we wear more luxurious jewelry, do we have a better chance of being robbed?
You might. They might come over and try.
Only Julia, only you can turn that into a positive. I want to be robbed.
This is maybe one of the only times that we'd say, wear your jewelry.
Yeah, wear your jewelry.
Well, and it's funny.
Pretend jewelry.
I'll tell you a story. We had a gentleman from India who's considered the Pope of India in the Hindi religion. Yeah. And they did a private charter where they had the train robbery added on. And we were told it had to be G-rated.
Yes.
And they could not focus on this gentleman. Everybody else was fair game.
Okay.
And they walked on the train and they said, we're here for all of your goods. We want all your valuables, everything. And he stands up and he points to one of the women that were on there with him who had gold bangles all up and down her arms and said, Shri has a whole bunch. You can take every single bit of it. So you never know. You never know.
That's absolutely awesome.
So then we're going to arrive at the canyon. As I said, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes after leaving Williams.
Right.
And you're not going into the big hole in the ground, okay? You're going into the national park. So you can see the tracks coming in. And we arrive about 75 steps. And I've counted them. I've actually walked it once you cross the street from the depot. And if you don't want to do a lot of walking, a lot of hiking on your own, there are free shuttles up there that will get you around to all the different viewpoints. Nice. The lodging and the restaurants, museums. The South Rim is actually the most tourist-friendly side of the Grand Canyon since it's open all year round. So just to show you kind of where things are so you can see everything now, you've got the train coming in. You'll see the shuttle bus sitting on the road there. So if you cross the street from where the depot is, you can access one of the shuttles immediately. And then you get into, here's the train. Here's the big hole in the ground. So you can see it really does not go in there, but we're 75 steps from the rim once you cross the street.
That's cool.
We do offer several lodges up at the canyon. You have El Tovar, which is that nice big brown building that you see there. And just off to the left, you have Kachina Lodge.
Okay.
Coming off the picture there with the right roof, you've got Thunderbird Lodge. And just off the picture, you have Bright Angel Lodge. Any of those can be booked as part of our train excursion.
Great.
What lodging is up there? And I'm really going to focus on what we have as the railway because we get a room block up at the canyon, which is kind of nice when you can't find a lot of rooms.
Right.
There's only about just over 600 rooms up at the canyon. Over 6 million people visit. So that tells you not everybody gets to stay up at the canyon. So it's nice that we get this room block to allow people to do so. So here's a nice little map of the South Rim, which I find quite intriguing. So you have the dotted line going across the top. That's your rim. You can see the train coming in. And we get a block of rooms at Maswick North, which sits about 2 football fields off the rim. So it's not on the rim, but the nice thing about this one is you get to see the wildlife because they're not up in the hustle and bustle that you get up on the rim. So if you're really into wildlife, I definitely recommend Maswick, whether it's Maswick North or Maswick South, which we'll talk about in a second. These are 2-story buildings. with stairs. There are no elevators here.
Okay.
And we only have one lodge up at the South Rim that actually has elevators, which I'm about ready to talk about.
All right.
So if you have an issue climbing stairs or limitations walking, you're going to want to recommend or request a room that's on a lower level or closer to the lobby versus one of the 12 buildings, which the furthest one is a quarter of a mile from the lobby.
And they're limited, correct?
They are limited.
So book early.
Correct. And if you need an ADA room, we have, I think, about 12 of them up at the canyon. So then it's on what's available if it's an ADA room, just because of how many we have. So here's the nice little map again, but we've added Maswick South. So Maswick North was in the trees just above that arrow. Maswick South is on the other side of the lobby. And Maswick South opened in June of this year. It's the first national park lodge that has been built in any of the national parks since the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
There are 4 two-story buildings and 130 guest rooms. It is very sustainable. So when they built this, we're using a much smaller footprint than any other lodge at any of the other national parks. We actually even offer a kitchenette room for those families that need a kitchenette room here.
Okay.
Beautiful rooms, balconies with the furniture to go outside, easily accessible from the lobby. So I would definitely recommend, if it's available, to move somebody into this lodge or to book this lodge for yourself, just because it's a beautiful lodge.
What about the view? Is there a premium charge to get a view of the rim?
From this, you cannot see the rim because you're off of the rim. But up at the 4 that are on the rim, Kachina and Thunderbird were built horizontally, so you can book a canyon view room. Runs about $50 more a night than our Maswick rooms.
If you're going, you might as well spend it.
And then there's 7 rooms at Bright Angel, and then you have the suites at El Tovar that overlook the rim.
And so book those early.
Book them early. We book 13 months out. So the first of whatever month we're in, we're booking through that month of next
December
year.
24.
Right now it's November.
November, okay.
Yes. So December 1st, we
So
will start booking for December of next year. So the earlier you book, the more likely you are to get what you would like and to get that view.
Just talking about this, what about families going? Do you have rooms for families, or is it like 2 double beds for 4?
So we have queen beds, king beds. We have the kitchenette rooms at Maswick South specifically. The majority will be 5 people per room.
Okay.
So if you have somebody that has more than that, they're probably going to need 2 rooms, unfortunately.
Are there connecting rooms and things like that?
No.
No, okay.
They are adjacent. Not connecting.
All right.
And then I get a lot of questions about the dining up at the canyon. I don't think people realize that it is a little city up there. So we offer a dining room at El Tovar, which is your gourmet experiential dining room. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I do recommend reservations. You can see in that picture, if you're looking out, there is a wall of windows where you can actually watch the sunset over the canyon, which is kind of cool.
And again, this is one of the things, talk to your travel advisor, because they'll have all these details in their little checklist of all the things that you want to be doing. So be sure to.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have Arizona Steakhouse, very similar in their food choices as you get over at El Tovar. No reservations required. They also have a wall of windows.
Okay.
And it's probably my favorite place for dinner because I like the whole Southwest feel and the Southwest flavors that they use over here that they don't necessarily use over at El Tovar.
Okay.
And if I were to tell you, El Tovar is my favorite place for breakfast. I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with breakfast. Best hot chocolate you'll have in your life. And I've eaten at quite a few of them and drank quite a few of those. So definitely worth the breakfast over at El Tovar. If you're looking for some quick service things, we have Fred Harvey Burger and Tavern at Bright Angel. And that is your hamburgers, your quesadillas, your salads, that sort of thing. And then at Maswick, we have a cafeteria, which is great for grab and go. If you're only going up for the day, you can run in, grab, get back out to the canyon and enjoy the clouds rolling over the canyon. Also a pizza pub there. So if your kids are just into pizza, you can get the pizza at the pizza pub, and it's actually really good. That's all they serve. So you can't do it wrong if that's all you serve, right?
So you go out, kind of do a little experience of the canyon, come back, get a little sustenance in you and then head back
Absolutely.
out.
A little
Absolutely.
appetizer.
Yeah.
So then, if you stay the night at the canyon, what do? I get that a lot. Is there enough for me to do? How many nights
Yeah.
should I stay? Well, there's plenty to do up at the canyon. So the sightseeing can include the different museums and places to go. So Hopi House
Okay.
is your Native American store, but it's an architectural wonder when you go in
Yeah.
there. I mean, I'm 5'5" and I have to duck to get into the door. If that tells you anything, there's fireplaces hidden all throughout. So it's kind of a neat place, not just for the Native American side.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Geology Museum, which is probably the best view of the canyon you're going to get.
Mhm.
You can see ruins in the canyon, which a lot of people don't realize they're looking at ruins. You have Hermit's Rest. And this is famous for a movie. Would you know what movie that would be famous for?
Hermit, what? The Hermit's Rest?
Yes.
Let me
Come on,
check.
Bob. What do you got? What do you got? Does it involve a hermit?
No, it
No.
involves two best friends.
Oh, Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. That's where the scene
Oh.
was filmed
That's
that
right,
they
yes.
drove over the canyon was Hermit's Rest.
I was talking about that this week in the car with a friend about the movie.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
movie. But actually, it's one of the last buildings that Mary Jane Coulter designed, which is one of the America's most
Yeah.
famous female architects. And she designed a beehive fireplace inside of this building. And literally, it looks like a beehive cut in
Wow.
half. And you just put the fire on the floor, and somehow or another, it floats out the chimney, which you don't see a chimney,
Wow.
which is really kind of cool.
Amazing.
But you have others. I mean, you've got Kolb Studios, you have a history room for the Bright Angel and Harvey Girls, which is kind of cool.
The movie.
Yeah.
I remember the movie.
Visitor Center. So there's a lot to see and do if you're not a hiker and don't want to walk around a whole lot.
Right.
But we also have optional day tours. So if you're coming up on the train and you're just going up for the day, we offer 2 tours that you can add on to see the most in that 3.5 hours. But we also offer a tour out to Desert View Watchtower, which is the big stone tower that overlooks the canyon. We do offer Hermit's Rest tours if you want to have a guided tour going out there. Sunrise and sunset tours. Definitely recommend a sunrise or sunset tour. Sunset are the amazing colors, and that canyon comes to life at sunset and sunrise. And if you have 2 or more days, we actually have the ultimate, which I call this the ultimate tour. It's called the Canyon River Adventure. So you fly over the canyon up to Page, Arizona. You get a private Navajo guided tour of Antelope Canyon, which are the slot canyons. And you get a smooth water raft tour past petroglyphs and that sort of thing. It's a full day, which is why you need a second night. But that is the ultimate adventure to experience the canyon. And if you want to do the smooth water raft tour on your own, you can. And when I say smooth, I mean there's a motor on these rafts. You're on glass.
Wow.
So you're not doing any whitewater if anybody's scared of the whitewater.
And the canyon, has it been affected by the lack of rains?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because our water comes out of the dams, both at Lake Powell and Lake Mead, and those are very low right now.
Yes.
So when they open those up, we're getting water on the river, but
I think you're getting a lot of snow though up in that area.
oh, they've had a lot of snow. I was up there a week ago, and let me tell you, we traipsed through about 6 inches of it pretty quickly.
So as Floridians, we are attracted to snow. We're attracted to go to see snow.
Well, that's the place to do it. Just make sure you're dressed appropriately for it.
Yes. No shorts.
Absolutely. And we did have somebody in shorts.
I believe
it was
it.
kind of amusing to see. And I'm like,
Someone from Florida, probably my brother-in-law.
You think? With the flip-flops and everything. I'm like,
flip-flops.
you're going to be a little cold.
Yeah,
maybe they're from Alaska.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
their summer.
we offer multiple ways to get to us. So we offer packages and discounts.
Good.
Our most popular package is our 3-night package. And this Canyon Discovery package is the most popular package. So it includes, your first night in Williams, get you comfortable. You get dinner included at the Fred Harvey restaurant, have breakfast the next morning, get your shootout. And then you board the train up to the canyon. When you arrive, you have an 1.5-hour tour to kind of get you comfortable. You get an overnight up at Maswick.
Okay.
And then the next day you come back on the train, you get another overnight dinner and breakfast included. So it's pretty much all inclusive. Averages right around $1,200 per couple, which is very reasonable.
Absolutely.
Per couple. Wow. That's
per couple.
Very good.
But we offer everything from a 1-night package to a 4-night package, and you can actually a la carte something that fits your needs versus something we've put together for you.
And we can also add additional hotels that are in the Grand Canyon.
Absolutely.
for you.
So, like we offer the 4-night package, which is 2
which-
nights up at the canyon,
right.
and then you can add on to that as you choose to.
And again, working with our team here, we can help you develop
Yes.
something, catering straight to you.
Absolutely.
Combination of some of the things offered by Grand Canyon Railway, but maybe some other little special things that we have.
Absolutely. I mean, whatever meets your needs, we're there to try and meet them.
Awesome.
We do offer a few discounts, including a senior discount. And as long as you are a senior 65 and over, you can
65.
obtain the discount.
So
here's my driver's license.
Check with your travel advisor for any additional discounts that might be available. So some travel tips I'll give you, because this one's kind of important. People don't know what they're getting into. As I mentioned, we're higher than Denver, and people don't realize that. So a couple of the things I get is, when is the best time to visit the Grand Canyon?
Yep.
My answer to that would be anytime, because I've been in every month. I mean, and it's beautiful no matter what month you go. So seasonally, if you want warmer weather, obviously the summertime, but we're going to be busy. If you're wanting more time at the canyon and not competing with people, your January, February time frame is a good time to go, but it's cold. So you want to be prepared for that. You could be in the single digits or teens in the morning because you are in the high desert. But that canyon snow-kissed in January and February is probably the best time to see it. If you're into the whole Christmas thing, we run Polar Express in November and December. And even if you didn't want to ride the train for Polar Express, the town decks out for Christmas. The property's decked out for Christmas. It's kind of that Hallmark town that you see in the shows on Hallmark. But maybe you're a train buff like you, Bob.
Oh, yes.
And it's all about the steam engines. So that would be the best time to go. So now you know why I say anytime's a good time to go.
There's all kinds of good times.
Yeah, it just depends on what you want. So some additional tips I'll give you, because it's really important to know, what to bring with you. We are a very sustainable company. We pride ourselves in protecting the canyon, our environment, and everything.
Of course.
So you'll see water bottles as the first tip I have up here. That would be because we do not sell bottled water.
Whoa.
I know. Weird, huh? We have refillable water stations everywhere for everybody.
Should be everywhere.
So if you don't bring your own like a refillable, you're going to be probably buying a refillable.
We will sell you a beautiful
souvenir
refillable water
I'm
bottle.
sure they are.
Grand Canyon Railway souvenir.
Yes, I'm sure they're ready to sell one for you.
Absolutely. But the normal sunscreen, hats, it is cooler up there, but people don't realize the sun hits you the same in the altitude as it does not in the altitude.
Right.
You want to dress for the weather. So shedding and adding layers is important. Even in the summertime, the temperatures get down into the 40s, which people don't realize. And so you're going to want to, any time of year, make sure you have that jacket or sweatshirt, although we will sell them to you.
Grand Canyon.
Exactly. Closed-toed shoes. There's a lot of loose gravel and that sort of thing up there. Backpack, what you need for the day. Take it with you. We actually will transfer your luggage up to the canyon for you. So you don't have your luggage in hand. It actually gets delivered to your room when you check in.
Wonderful.
So that backpack is important to keep what you need for the day. And then the other thing are flashlights. I mean, people don't think about that, but we were the very first dark skies park in the country that was certified as a dark skies park. Which means you can see constellations, you can see the Milky Way, more stars than you've ever seen in your life.
Right.
But that means there's not much lighting at night. So you're going to want that flashlight to get around. One, to hear the animals and see what animals you're hearing, because they are up there. And to make sure you don't miss an unrailed area and go someplace you probably don't really want to go.
Thelma and Louise.
No, not at all. And then one other thing I probably mentioned that's not on the list here, but I think is important, is because of the dry air. You're going to want some saline or something with you, because honestly, with the altitude, the dry air, you could get nosebleeds really easy and that sort of thing. So definitely take those things into account when you're packing for your trip to the canyon or anywhere in the Southwest for that matter.
Awesome. Now, Bob.
Yes.
Our train guy.
Yes. Choo-choo trains.
Questions?
The only question really we answered it about the different categories of cars with the Pullman cars. You have the Bud cars, you have the steam engine. For a train buff though, I know you have several historic cars also. Are those available to be seen, or do they only come out on special occasions?
The three
That's what I'm
super
thinking,
historic
yes.
cars we have, which our owner, Philip Anschutz, has, that he transferred them from California
Yeah.
from a great Pullman company. And they sit in a nice little barn unless somebody decides they want to do a private charter
Okay, so that's the only
up to
time
the
they come out.
canyon. We will put them on for the private
Okay.
charters. And those, we have a dining car, we have sleeper cars, they have platforms off the back. They're beautiful cars,
Yeah.
but we're trying to
They're
keep them as
gorgeous.
pristine as possible.
So
Okay.
they're kept in the barn. So
They are.
Is the steam train just left out, or is that available to see at times?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have several of them.
Oh,
So
okay.
we actually have one parked at the depot,
Oh, good.
which will be being moved back into our locomotive shop, and the boiler is going to be inspected, and we get to put that back on the train next year.
Oh boy.
So we offer the 2960 and we offer the 29,
Okay.
and both of those are
Oh,
available
very good.
and will be running next year.
Are they 16 wheel? Just
They
curious.
are. They are. Are you surprised I knew that?
Yes. No. I would hope you'd know that.
I've had to look it up several times, but yes,
Yes,
they
okay.
are.
Well, very good. I mean, I think we learned a lot today.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I
Super
love
cool.
this product. I really do. It's I'm going to go on it.
Yeah.
I am, because I love trains, and
Yes.
I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
We got to get you there.
Never been there, so I've got to
We
go.
got to get you there.
I'll do a
Definitely.
group.
Okay.
People, come with me.
Absolutely.
I'll lead you on the way. We'll buy trains on the way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm
We're
excited.
just like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Can I come?
Yes, of course. We love you. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. I get very as you know, I get very excited about certain everything. I think anything to do with trains or travel, I'm there.
Awesome.
I'm there. But I will be here.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Robin, for joining us today. Any final notes for people that are considering kind of taking this experience on the Grand Canyon Railway?
Yeah, go talk to your travel agents. I
Of
mean,
course.
come on, come see them and come see us. I mean, there's nothing like visiting one of the natural wonders of the world and doing it by train.
Absolutely. So
Love it.
again, contact your Go Travel advisor or visit us at gotravel.com, and we will
Yes.
connect you with a specialist. We love to collaborate here, and we'll all work together. We'll be talking to Robin. We're going to get you the most fantastic trip to the Grand Canyon Railway.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you right here next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.